morning, colleagues. Welcome. Thank you for registering for this webinar or this introduction, this overview, this teaser, whatever you want to call it. We're really happy to see so many of you here. And there are quite a few names that we recognize that have done workshops or webinars with us. Welcome back. If it's your first time with us, welcome. We hope that this will not be the last time. So for today's webinar, we are going to look at creating or a demo, introduction, overview, whatever you want to call it, of creating videos. We have identified a need for that. And we're mostly going to look at doing it with PowerPoint. Obviously, there are many ways that you can do it. It depends on what the purpose is of what you want for your video. So I'm going to stop my video and I'm going to start my PowerPoint just that we can have a little bit of theory or an overview of theory as well. So we have asked on the registration form, why would you like to compile a video and what are your exact needs? Do you have something specific in mind? And from the answers that all of you gave us, it clearly fell into one of three categories. So these are not the only categories why somebody would like to compile a video, but these are the three categories that came out very clearly in your answers. So the very first option was for marketing purposes. So whether you want to market your institution or a product or a service, it doesn't matter what you want to market, but there is a need for creating marketing videos. Then the second option, or the second purpose that we have identified, was for educational or instructional purposes, whether it is teaching somebody a new skill or reskilling or helping them with something that they struggle educational-wise, or if it was doing a demo on your website, you know, how to search for something or a database or whatever the case might be. So that was clearly one of the purposes that was identified. And then the last purpose was for entertainment. And this could be just with your family photos and little videos that you did, or it could also be for entertainment purposes for your institution. So every answer fell clearly for our purposes into one of these three categories. So there are a few requirements for a successful video, and these definitely are not the only ones. This, as we said, this is just a little overview. So first of all, you need to have content. Your content must be interesting. It must be of value to somebody. If it is a marketing video, if your purpose is marketing, you need to try and tell a story and that will draw the people in. So whatever your content is, it must grab their attention in the first few seconds of your video. So the second requirement for a successful video is good audio. So it doesn't matter what type of audio you use, if it is narration or if it is music, it doesn't matter. It needs to be of a good quality. So I'm sure all of you have attended a webinar or a meeting where one person can hardly be heard while somebody else is very loud. So yes, you need to have good content and good visuals, but your audio especially, it needs to be very clear for people to keep on listening or to keep on watching. If you need to have a separate mic, please have that, especially if the video that you are going to create is for your institution. Then the third requirement is planning, and we're going to get to planning in a moment and look at that in more depth. And then the last option is editing, which Ina is going to show us a little demo as well. And I think editing is probably the hardest part and the part that might take the longest to do. And there might be a learning curve, but I think it can also be the most rewarding to see what this product, this bits and pieces that you have pasted together, how that is becoming a whole and something very interesting. So let's go back to planning. So For planning a video, you need to know what is the purpose of the video. I mean, without a purpose, you're just going to have a video and it will not serve anybody a purpose, if we can repeat that word. So we already looked at the three different types: marketing, educational or instructional, and entertainment. Is that the purpose of your video? What do you want to convey? And once you know what is the purpose of your video, build on that, because a marketing video will have slightly different elements or slightly different message than, for instance, educational or instructional video, and definitely different than entertainment. So why is it important for you to make that video? What do you want to happen after your video was watched? Do you want to raise awareness about your service or product, gain new customers, showcase your institution, demo a product, whatever the case might be? So the second point of planning is to look at who is your audience. So develop a message that will resonate with your specific audience. It is unrealistic to appeal to everybody with the same message. Say, for instance, there's lots of people from the higher education sector. So if we can use them as an example, if you need to do an instructional video on how to search a database, definitely your message, your audience will be different for a first year, the message for a first year student, than for a master or a D student. So speak to the correct audience. So you might have to make multiple little videos. Sorry about that. So also segment your audience, your target market, and have the right video or the right channel for the right audience. Sorry, just having coughs. So just look at who will watch your video on YouTube, who will watch your video on TikTok, who will watch your video on Facebook, who will go directly to your website. Or does the audience not matter? Will it only be a home video that you will have on a hard drive and that you will show to family and friends? So look at who is your audience. So number 3 is, what is your message? So for your message, be clear, be specific. Don't try to get everything across in one video. So have 3 to 5, even less, if you want key ideas that you want to communicate. If you need to make a number of different videos with 3 to 5 or even less little messages, do that. People have become spoiled. They don't want to sit through a video of half an hour. They want it in bite size. So they want it 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And they want to know what is the message that you want to convey to them. So shorter videos tend to do better. Then you also need to look at your distribution channels. When you did your audience segmentation, your target market, this should have been one of the things that you looked at. Again, who will look at your video on YouTube? Who will look at your video on TikTok? Do you need to create the same video but on different channels? And when you do that, you also need to look at the format, if we can call it that, of your videos. TikTok, we know, is in portrait format, while YouTube is in landscape, and your Instagram videos, for instance, is in a little square format. So also keep that in mind when you do your planning, because, for instance, if you're going to do a TikTok video and you're going to demonstrate something to your side, then there will be lots of dead space above you because of the format, the portrait format. So then you need to make sure that you incorporate that. Right, so the different channels, so format might not have been the right word, it might rather be layout, but it is easy to convert something into different types with your editing. And then lastly, we're going to do either a storyboard or whatever you want to call it, intense planning, doesn't really matter. But do you have an exhaustive list of everything that needs to be included in your video? So this is where you get creative. This is where you have your narration, your exact, not only the 3 to 5 key ideas, but what you want to convey with each of those ideas. So will there be audio or will there be music? What exactly will it be? You need to have that ready. Will it be a recording, a screen recording, or will there be a separate narration? Will you shoot on location, if on a different location, if it is that type of video, if it's not done on PowerPoint? Where are you going to get your images, your stock images, or your stock videos? Or will that all be original, something that you have created or done yourself? And then also the length of your video that you plan to have. So have that already. That is where you do your storyboard, your the big picture, and how that picture is colored. So with that said, let's go online. Ina is going to do some demonstrations online for us. I'm handing you over to her, and then I will be back a bit later again to do just a quick overview of uploading your videos to YouTube. Ina, over to you.
What we're going to start with is the practical now. First of all, I'm going to share with you a video that we created as an example only. It's a video to create awareness about a journal called African Entomology. To www.africanentomology.com, register to log in. Alternatively, read the previous issues at the previous issues button or search for a specific article. If you are an author and would like to make a submission, log in and click on the Make a Submission button. I hope you enjoyed that video. It was 2 minutes long only, so a very brief video, but ultimately consisting of 9 slides. So while I'm going to switch to my PowerPoint presentation, in which I'm going to take you through how to find content to populate your video, I would like for you to, in the chat box, share your impressions of this video. Could you find room for improvement? What would you have changed? And could you find that mistake I left on purpose? It would be interesting whether you could have spotted it. So please share your thinking and your thoughts in the chat box while I'm preparing for my next slide. Thank you. The content creation is an important part, and collecting content to populate your video with is quite important. But first of all, you need the hardware, and it's easy to create a video with the hardware you have access to on a day-to-day basis. You don't need anything special. First of all, any laptop or desktop. And of course, video files are huge, and working with video files are huge. So it takes up a lot of memory. And nowadays, the requirements is that at least 4 GB of RAM, but 8 GB would be ideal. And then, of course, you need a microphone and speakers and a mobile phone or camera. So these are things all of us have access to. Regarding software, the example video which we shared with you was created using specific software. It's a luxury to have one software to address all your needs. There's no such thing. There's no one tool that addresses all your needs. So get used to the idea of working across different software platforms and copying and pasting and inserting from elsewhere, etc. So first of all, I believe most of you have access to PowerPoint. The slides, the video compiled, presented consisted of 9 separate slides that were created in PowerPoint. And then sometimes I would find images, but then I would like to edit it slightly, maybe remove text or maybe reduce the size. And a very simple program to which all of you have access is Paint in Windows. And that requires a separate training session of its own. The same with PowerPoint. If you are not familiar with PowerPoint, we highly recommend you familiarize yourself with PowerPoint and the different functionalities it offers. It's quite powerful. But PowerPoint and Paint cannot do what I usually want to do on its own. So third option is BeeCut. It's more sophisticated than PowerPoint, and I use BeeCut for compiling and combining with and adding audio, more accurate than PowerPoint or even video editor, which is also part of your Windows installation. So I prefer, for example, to cut videos smaller or make it shorter, or to remove noise from videos. For example, shoot while I was recording a webinar, afterwards I want to edit the webinar and cut certain parts of a webinar where I found wasn't I don't want to include in the final published video. I will typically use BeeCut, and it's quite easy to use. As I've mentioned, with a video editor, and then Screencast-O-Matic is used to record all activity on the screen. So, for example, I want to demonstrate how to type so for instance, I'm a teacher at school, and I want to demonstrate how to do a set math problem. I can use Screencast-O-Matic, and then in Word or in PowerPoint, or wherever you want to demonstrate how to do that calculation, I can record all my typing and activity as an MP4 video clip, which I can then add to the video recording. And lastly, Animoto is also a great tool if you want to take your video to the next level. If you've watched or were able to view the introductory video to this session this morning, I used Animoto to create that specific video. But the one on African entomology on insects, which I just shared, was created using PowerPoint, Paint, BeeCut, and Screencast-O-Matic only. I didn't use video editor or Animoto. So just to give you an idea, we need to get used to work across tools, and all tools are not available on our computers necessarily. We have to subscribe to some tools. So for example, BeeCut, it's available free of charge, but you can also subscribe to it. And once you subscribe, your videos will no longer have its watermarks and branding of BeeCut on it. The same with Screencast-O-Matic. So I don't know if you've spotted the mistake, but where on the video which I shared, I indicated to you how to access African technology. There was a little screencast-o-matic logo to the bottom left of the screen. That why because I was using the freeware version of screencast-o-matic. I don't have a subscription to it. So I prefer not to have that kind of logo on it. And but yes, once I have a subscription, screencast-o-matic logo will disappear. And then Animoto is also available free of charge to a certain extent, but a subscription will take you a long way. And these tools are not expensive if you want to subscribe to it. BeeCut, screencast-o-matic, and Animoto. But first try it out, play with it, and then budget for it and consider include it, using it and having a subscription. So my next slide sheet with the tools that I've been using, the hardware and the programs to compile this video. And thirdly, I want to share with you where and how you source content to populate your video. So first of all, my video, which I shared, consisted of images, just static images. So in PowerPoint itself, there are lots of design elements, like a simple line or a circle or a triangle or whatever it is you want to use. And you know, those of you who are familiar with PowerPoint would know that it's easy to add some, to enhance photos and to resize it, etc. So PowerPoint is quite powerful to compile your initial slides. Then you can also create your own content through photos taken with your mobile camera or a professional camera. And I often make use of screen captures. I will use the print screen button on my laptop keyboard, and then I will take my screen print to Paint, and then in Paint, edit the picture, cut out parts I don't want, and then come up with a completely new picture, which I will then insert in my PowerPoint. And then, of course, the most stunning thing is that there's lots of libraries and resources on the web, or collections on the web, with professional photos that you can use. And I've only listed a few of them, which I frequently use, like Pixels, Unsplash, Canva, and Pixabay. So go there, log in, and you can search for a photo which suits the message you would like to convey, and then insert it as an image in your PowerPoint. And then, if you can remember, in the video I shared, there was a little bee busy doing his thing on the sunflower, so collecting nectar from the sunflower. So that video is a professionally taken video, which I downloaded from Pixels. But there's literally videos on any topic you can think of, and also Pixabay. But other from downloading video clips from these directories or libraries or collections, you can also do your own video recordings with your cell phone or a camcorder. You can also, we host a lot of webinars at my main day job, and those webinar recordings sometimes need some editing afterwards, but you can also extract pieces of those webinars and insert it in a completely different video. So you have to think creatively when compiling videos. Okay, I've mentioned video camera, and then of course, like I've said, I've also created a little video screencast-o-matic to demonstrate what you can do online training through this all these tools, and create a training video should there be a need for it. Sourcing text, of course. During your planning, you need to know what kind of messages you would like to convey. In the example video for the insects, I've typed in selected text, and I like to bring in quotes when I do a marketing video or the launch of an event video. It can be quotes on the web. It can be quotes from your learners. It can be from their experiences if you're a teacher. It can be or questions or whatever. The sky is the limit. Then, like I've said, sourcing sound. Similar to videos, if you want to use sound only, you can create your own voice recordings, or you can add background music. So in that example video, I had music playing, but when the video came up where I demonstrated how to access that journal, my sound, my voice was more prominent. Okay. So that's it. At this point, I'm just going to look at the chat of the questions with regard to this session. Okay, I'm just going to check the chat. The video is overall positive, informative. The music in the video is bold, creates anticipation, excitement. Thanks so much, Bronwyn. And Annamarie has responded. And yes, so please feel free to post your comments or questions in the chat box. I'm now going to switch over to the PowerPoint that I've created so that you can see exactly how we compiled this video. You can see I'm in PowerPoint mode now, and there's my 9 slides, which my video consists. And I'm going to start with the first one. So I'm going to start with adding images and text. I'm going to take you through that. If you look at this first opening slide, this is a mere image, which I got from the web. I Googled the cover page of this magazine or journal. There were some unwanted text. So I edited slightly in Paint. I cut out some text that was on this little image here. And I copied it and pasted it from Paint to my PowerPoint slide. And I resized it so it filled this part of the screen. This image I got on the right-hand side. It's another simple image. I got this image from Pizza Bay. I searched insects and I was able to download this video, and then I inserted it on this slide and I resized it. And as you know, you can resize a PowerPoint. So very straightforward. The second slide was also, I sourced this logo because this journal, in this example, is published by the Entomological Society of Southern Africa. I sourced this, I did a screen capture and I cut this logo out in Paint, and I copied that logo from Paint to my PowerPoint slide. And then I created a text box here and I typed this text and I edited and formatted the text using my formatting tools on my text toolbar. I made use of design ideas in PowerPoint. I'm not sure it's going to work now, but and PowerPoint would come up with suggestions as to a possible look and feel for your slide. So not all are very professional, but you know, it's useful to from time to time look at that, because you don't want all your slides to be the same a video PowerPoint. You want some differentiation and avoid people getting bored, etc., etc. Then thirdly, I captured some articles from this magazine. I went to the magazine. I created, sorry about that. I created, I did screen captures, and then I copied and pasted it to Paint again. And then I cut out the headings, and then I put it on top of one another. And I rotated it, I resized it, etc. Then the next slide was one consists of text only, so it's a text box, and then a line, which which I got from PowerPoint, insert, shapes, and a mere line. And you can see all the many shapes that's available through PowerPoint and which you can use in creative ways. I also added a picture image as background. Now, if you click on the slide and you right click, you can format the background. It's not, that option is not available now because I've added a picture, but you can format the background and add a picture, add an overlay over the image, etc. This is the video I downloaded from Pixabay. So how do you add a video to your slide? You simply go to Insert, Media, and Video. And of course, the condition is that all the videos you want to insert must already be saved in a folder somewhere on your device. So I've clicked on Video, and I've chosen this from this device, and I found the video, and I simply click on Insert. And please note, once you've inserted a video, there will be a little toolbar. I don't know if you can see it. At the bottom, just pull it up. Try to pull it up. Okay, this bar is in the way now. Sorry about this. So this is the little toolbar, which will appear, and then you can edit this video. Once you've inserted a video in PowerPoint, this playback option becomes available. And from here, you can do some editing with regards to this video. You can trim the video, make it shorter. So this trim video screen will come up, and you can see here, the original video, the raw video, is much longer than the one I used. It's 28 seconds long, but I've only used 12 seconds of the video. So only that middle part was used by me. So you simply click and drag these bars to make it longer or shorter, whatever the need is. Then this slide consists of an image I downloaded from Pixabay also. So you can see I've added the image as a background. There it is. There's the format background now active. So to add this kind of image, I've downloaded it from Pixabay, and then I indicated to PowerPoint that I want a picture as a background. So I selected picture, I clicked on Insert from a file, and then I looked for the picture where I've saved it, and I clicked on Open. And that was how I added this picture as background to this slide. So you can see I can't select it and resize it like I can do with a normal image that I've inserted. This is a text box which I've inserted on top. I got this quote from the web, and I've acknowledged the owner of these words, or the person who said these words. Then this is the screencast-o-matic video, which third-party software outside of PowerPoint, where I created this little animation. If I click on this play, you can once again see, you can choose to add your voice while recording your actions on the screen, or you can just remain quiet and have text guiding any participant. So I'm going to stop it now. And once again, if you click on this video, and while it's selected, you can go to playback and trim the video. You can choose to have it fade in or fade out. I have indicated to PowerPoint that this video must start playing automatically, because when you compile a video, there's not time for clicking, etc. Okay. The next slide. This slide consists of 3 different images, and I've made use of design ideas. So I've asked PowerPoint to suggest some ideas for me. Sorry, it's not available now. I don't know for what reason, but I've simply inserted the images in a square format, and PowerPoint changed it for me and suggested this format. So 3 different images which were taken yesterday with a camera outside in the garden. So these were created by myself. It wasn't downloaded from the web whatsoever. And this little quote I also got from the web. Insects are the little things that run our world. And I decided to split it up, little text, a little bit of text there, little text down here, and that's basically it. And I changed the background. I formatted the background and made it a little gray. This one was compiled with a simple image. I copied from the journal itself, so no copyright issues. It belongs to the journal. And I've resized it here on the slide, so it covers from the top to the bottom, and it's not too wide or too narrow. Be careful when you resize. You don't want to distort your images. Okay, this doesn't look right at all. It's not visually appealing. So resize it so it's in proportion. This was merely a text box, and then I've added this line from insert shapes, and I used a line, and then once again this little logo to acknowledge the owner of this journal. So I hope this gives you an idea of how I populated the video or the slides to, in the end, create that video. Secondly, I would add animation or to the different objects. This slide does not contain any animation, so all appear at once. This slide contains animation, and if you remember, this little logo flew in when I when I played the video. So how did I do this? I selected this and selected the object, and I clicked on animations, and I indicated that I want it to swivel. I can also make it bounce or grow and turn or whatever. Let's change it back to swivel. And I want it to start after the previous. In other words, I don't want to click, and I want the duration. I want it to take 2 seconds at least. I don't want it to fast. I want to focus people's attention on this logo. So that was the only animation that I've added here. On this slide, I've animated each of these elements or these objects. So first of all, I started with this first object. I added animation. The first object was just static. It was on the screen already. But then I wanted to stack the second one on top of that first one. So you can see here, select it, click on animations, and I've chosen it to fly in. So there you can see, I can also make it split or wipe or whatever. And then the last one also flew in. And important when you choose animations and work with a video, since I've used fly in, I can indicate to PowerPoint, do I want to have it fly in from the bottom or from top left or from top or wherever. So if I choose from right, it will appear from right. And I also want it to last for 3 seconds, and I've selected of the previous. So everything has to happen automatically when you compile a video. The fourth slide was doesn't have any animation, and the fifth slide has the video in itself, has animation built in, and then the sixth one also doesn't have any animation. So I don't want to have too much. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, and less is more. So try to keep it simple. The focus should be on the message you want to convey. Don't go overboard with your animations. And of course, this was a video I inserted. So in itself, it had its animation already built in. No worry there. And with this one, I had animation added to this little image in the middle. So I've inserted the image, and PowerPoint design ideas came up with this. And then I selected this image and I click on animation and I selected that it must grow and turn. But I can also have it zoom in or swivel. And I can play with it as many times I want to until I'm happy with it. This is a text box, like I've said. I also indicated to PowerPoint, but I want some animation here. So this, you would see that PowerPoint will animate the different objects in a certain order. So I started with this one. This is my second animation. I wanted this text to pulse. So you can also to choose from different options. I can have it white or float in or whatever, or bounce to focus attention on it. So pulse, color pulse is also an option, but I've used just simple pulse. The same with this one at the bottom. These two were remained static. I didn't add any animation to them. And then lastly, this last slide, no animation was added to this image, but I have added animation to this logo once again to acknowledge this specific society. So while it's selected, go to animations, and I've chosen bounce. But once again, I can also use spin or whatever. And that's how I animated the different objects. So the third step would be to add some transition to the slide. So how I do that, I'm sure all of you are familiar with how to add that. Just this bar at the bottom away. I would go to this view in my slideshow. I would select all, and then go to transitions, and I will tell PowerPoint how I want these different slides to transition from one to another. I've chosen random, but you can, there's also, once again, many options to choose from. And it will give me a preview. So if I choose fade, then all my slides will fade. But if I choose random, where's random now? There it is. Each slide will appear differently. Then the fourth step, once I've added the animation, I'm gonna add some music to my slide. So as I've indicated, there's lots of, sure, just gonna stop here, back to home. There's lots of free music, royalty-free stock music available on the web. Please be cognizant of copyright and licensing. You can't just go and use Anya's song or Richard Clayderman's piano music or whatever. And also the music you choose must be carefully selected. It should suit the message, the energy, the vibe you want to convey through this video. So I've chosen kind of calm, serious music to accompany. But if I want to, say for instance, have a Pilates studio, and I want to advertise my Pilates studio, and I want to create energy, then I would choose more lively music. So it helps if you have a good ear and a good feeling to what to choose in terms of music. The music must suit the message you want to convey. So you would note that there's a little sound bar here on my slide. It's very dim and faded. And I can also hide it beneath my slide so that nobody can see, behind my picture, so that nobody can see that little image, but try to make it as small possible, so that it's only visible for you and not noticed by anybody else. So that there it is. So once I've selected it, playback will become active and I can edit my sound as well. How do I add sound to this video? I click on Insert, Media, Audio on my PC, because I should have downloaded it on my PC. And then I select the sound file. A sound file would always be in MP3 format, and I click on Insert. And once I've inserted it, and when you go to playback, you would have some more options. You can choose to have a sound fade in or fade out when it stops at the end of a slide, usually a slide set or a video. Usually you want it to fade out softly, and I want it to play across all slides, and I want it to start playing automatically immediately when I open my video. So that is how you add sound, and it will play across. You only add it to your first slide, and then it will play across from the beginning to the end. Now that I've added my sound, I want to rehearse my timings for my video. So I'm going to play the video now and demonstrate to you how to rehearse your timings in PowerPoint. So you can see PowerPoint knowledge is key when you create a video. To rehearse timings for my video to play automatically, I go to Slideshow, Rehearse Timings. So I'm just gonna rehearse from scratch. Okay. And record the duration for each slide. And I read through it so that I can know that the person watching in the end will have enough time to read through it. See how it appears automatically? I click, and the video starts playing automatically because that was how it was set up. That is how it was set up. And I click to move to the next slide. I'm recording. I read through this. So that I know everybody has enough time to read. I click to move to the next slide. And this is my video from Screencast-O-Matic. And I move to the next slide. And I'm happy that everybody saw and heard what they wanted to hear, and I click on Stop Share. So then, sorry, just going back to the PowerPoint. So then PowerPoint will, or I escape, and PowerPoint will tell me the total time for your slideshow was 2 minutes, 4 seconds. Do you want to save a new slide timings? And you can say yes. I'm going to choose no. So you're done with the animations, the transitions, with adding content, with adding music, and with rehearsing timings. The last thing you need to do is to save it as an MP4 file. So go to File, Save As, and give it a file name. I've just given it file name master slides. And on that drop down, you would find MP4 and click on save. I'm not going to do it now because it takes quite a while for PowerPoint to process and to save this as an MP4 video, but that's how you do it. I'm going to now, I've done behind the scenes, the PowerPoint behind the scenes. How did I compile my video in PowerPoint? If I want to take it to the next level, I can use BeeCut. And like I've said, I enjoy working with BeeCut. It's more sophisticated than PowerPoint, especially when I want to compile different videos and add music. I find that when I use PowerPoint and I'll add music and save it as an MP4, my video has interruptions. You know, it's not as smooth as what it would be when I do it in BeeCut. So, okay, what we're going to do now is to prepare those 9 slides so that I can use them in BeeCut. I want to convert each of these slides to a separate MP4 video file. So I'm going to extract them from PowerPoint one by one, and I'm going to save each one with its own animation or transitions or whatever as a separate PowerPoint file, and then or MP4 file. I usually also save it as a PowerPoint just to have a backup of the original so that I don't have to repeat my work. So I save each one as a PowerPoint file. You can see here, this is my folder where I've created, where I save everything nicely together. So I have a folder with all my PowerPoint slides, one by one by one. Each of these is a separate file. And then I take each file, this is the first video file, video 1, and I save it as MP4. So in the end, I will end up with 9 MP4 videos because BeeCut only works with MP4 files, with video files. It doesn't accept JPEG and PNG and all other different kinds of formats. So it's a video editor. So now I'm going to go live again. I hope this is clear to everybody and not too confusing. So let me share a different screen, and that is the BeeCut screen. I've opened it in the background already. Let me just remove this little video. So I hope you can see my BeeCut screen. Annamarie, is it good?
Yes, we can see. Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, this is my opening screen in BeeCut. There's nothing inside it. So I'm going to import all the 9 separate video files that I've created in PowerPoint. So I'm going to double click. And okay, I've saved my folder, my video training folder on my desktop, just so you know how I organized it. And this folder contains that 9 MP4 video clips. So I'm going to select all of them. I'm going to open it. And BeeCut is going to add them to my collection here. But I also want to add music. So I'm going to click on audio and I'm going to add some music. Let me just find where I've saved my music. Here it is. There's my music file. So I now have 9 video files, which I'm going to add here. And the sound file is going to go in this bar. I'm just going to click, drag, and drop it there. Okay, and I want to drop each of these slides in correct order. Video 1, click and drag. Video 2, video 3, video 4, 5, 6, and video 7, 12 to 6, 8, where's 8? I'm just gonna, and of course you can swap and change and the order any way you want to while it's on this bar down here. Okay, so there's my 9 videos, and you can see my music is quite long. I don't want it that long. The music and the video must end at the same place. So let's just go to my video. Oh gosh, now I've gone too far. Go back, just see where my video ends. I position my cursor there until it forms a double-sided arrow. I click and drag it up to the end where my video is. Okay, so the music will end when the video ends. While I'm at the music, I want to edit the music slightly. So I select the music, and when I double click on it, I can tell BeeCut what speed do I want the music to be, what volume do I want it to be, and I can enhance the volume to emphasize certain areas of my video. I can ask BeeCut to fade my music in when it starts, but I'm not going to do that. What I do want is I want it to fade out at the end, so it exits elegantly, if I can put it like that. So the last 2 seconds of my video will fade out softly. Okay, there you go. So I'm done with my audio for now. I will return to it just now because you constantly move between this video bar and of course this audio bar. There to the right hand side, you can see a preview of the video, and the music will also play, just so you can get an idea of what to expect. So you can see it carried over the animation from my PowerPoint design. But I'm going to stop here just for the sake of time. What I truly want to edit is this little bee video. It's very long, 28 seconds, and I don't want this video to be this long. So I move this bar here. I'm going to play this video. You can see it starts with a little bee is there, but I want the video to start. Let's see, sorry, I need to pull this little bar. I want it to start more or less there. So I'm going to tell BeeCut I want to cut this first part. I click on cut. I've selected on the whole video, and then I've clicked on cut. So you would now notice that there's 2 parts. This original video has been split. So now I can click on that first part I want to delete, and I click on. So now it's gone. My video is now much shorter than it originally was. I also want to cut the end part. So I'm going to position my marker around here. I'm going to select this piece of the video, and I'm going to click on cut. And once again, it split it up for me in 2 different videos. Sorry, my screen is just jumping all over the place. So now I must tell BeeCut which part I want to delete. I want to delete that last part. Okay, and there you go. I'm happy with the rest of the videos, but now you would have noticed, since I've cut some video, my sound is too long. So I'm gonna make it shorter again. There we go. I'm just gonna double click on it, see my fade out is still set there. And there it is. I'm more or less done with my video. I'm gonna just preview it to see whether I'm happy with it. I see I must swap video 5 and 6. So there's a mistake there, an interruption. I need to fix that. That is a few seconds of that video I've cut. And I can reduce the sound when it comes to this part so that my voice is more audible. But for now, this is what it looks perfect, except for here's a mistake, some kind of mistake here. I'm just gonna click here and then cut, and there's a little piece that has to come out. Delete. And video 5 and video 6 must be swapped. So I'm just gonna swap them. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, my video is ready to be exported. I'm done with my video. So I click on export. BeeCut will ask me for a file name. I would type in the file name. It will ask me how to save, and MP4 is high quality, and I will start export. I'm not going to click it now because it can take an hour or 2 or 5. Depends on how big your video is. So it depends on the size of the video. So I'm just going to close now, and once done, you will have your MP4 video professionally created with PowerPoint and BeeCut. So I'm going to close now. So from our experience, compiling and editing a video takes patience and time, but it's worth it. It's so satisfactory. It brings out the creativity in you. So we're thoroughly enjoying it. You have to design and develop, and then edit, compile, view, edit, compile, view, more times 1,000, because it takes that's the only way you're going to learn how to do a professional video. And still, this little 2-minute video which I created as an example for today almost took me 8 hours to compile. So be ready to spend some time, and you should have good internet bandwidth. Test the video before you launch it. Test it and use it. Test it against your family, friends, colleagues before launching. Learn from others. Watch videos and view others and analyze it while you watch it to try and understand how did they compile it. We are not specialist designers, although we would like to be. So don't be too hard on yourself, but test it. And the duration of the video, like Annamarie said, depends on the purpose. Rather have multiple brief videos than one long video of 6 hours when you do training. Split it up before sharing it on social media, on YouTube, on as part of training course, as part of teams, or wherever you want to share it. Like I've also said, music is used to create a certain vibe, and your choice of music should align with content and message you want to convey. So like I've said, this little 2-minute video, the size of it is 68.4 megabytes. It's huge. So be prepared for that. And remember, your recording is as good as the quality of your tools, your hardware, your microphone. I know my microphone is not good, so there might have been some interruptions in my voice during the recording, during the webinar. So my apologies about that. It depends on the software you use. Remember, I said that Screencast-O-Matic had the watermark in the bottom left corner, simply because I do not have a subscription and I use the free version, which is not wrong. You can live with it. The quality of your camera, the videos, images, etc., where you source your content from. There's no one tool that fits all. Like I've said, use functionalities from different tools to produce the end product. I've switched between Paint on Windows and PowerPoint and BeeCut, and Animoto takes it to a next level. And good PowerPoint skills are essential. And be cognizant of copyright and licensing. Don't use material from the web if you do not have consent for it. And now I'm going to hand over to Annamarie to share with you how to upload your final compiled video to YouTube so that it's assigned a YouTube web address which you can share with the whole world.
Thank you, Ina. That looked very interesting. I'm sure all these creative people on this webinar will play around and do wonderful things. I hope you all will share your videos with us. We'd love to see that. So yes, now you have created this wonderful video, but you need to store it somewhere. You cannot just keep it, if it is not for home purposes, you cannot just keep it on your laptop. You need to store it somewhere. So we are just going to look at storing it on YouTube. There are many platforms that you can store it on, and obviously if it is for your institution, they might either have their own YouTube channel, or they might have different repositories, or directly on their website, whatever the case might be. It is up to you. But for today's purpose, we're just going to have a very, very brief overview on where to store it and how to store it on YouTube. It's very easy. So if you have a Gmail account, you do have a YouTube channel, your own YouTube channel. So just make sure that you are signed into your Gmail account or your Google account, and then just go to YouTube and you will see that your little icon will be there in the little corner. You can go to Home, Explore, or your library. So for instance, if we go to your videos, you'll see the logo slightly bigger there, and then any videos that was already uploaded. So on the previous page as well, so you can see there's a little camera with a plus in, or on the studio.youtube, which is the back end where you upload as well. Either way will bring you to the screen. There's your little camera again. You just click on create. So on just normal YouTube, again, if you just click on create, you will get exactly the same. Then click on upload videos and a little pop-up box will pop up, and you just select files and you go and grab your video where you have saved it. So let's just use that one. It will start uploading. The bigger the file, the longer it will take. If it is just a small file, so this one is nice and small, so it uploaded quite easy. Give it a title. So we'll just say compile a video, compile a video theory. And then you can give it a little description. So the description will appear where the viewers, the potential viewers, can see it. So we will get back to the thumbnail. So if you're not happy with one of the images that YouTube is selecting for the thumbnail, you can create an image of a different image as this thumbnail. Then you can also place it in a playlist. For instance, if you are a number of people in your department that are creating videos, you can have your own playlist and you upload it to yours and you will know where to find it. Or if it's in different themes or on different subjects. So creating a new playlist is very easy. You click on playlist, you give it a title. You can make it the visibility here. You can set it, but you can change this later as well. We'll look at these options in a little bit. And once you have added the title, you just click on create. So once you have your playlist, you can just tick as many or as few as you want and say done, and it will tell you how many playlists. Then the next setting is for if it is made for kids or not. So if it is something that is made for kids, obviously you will tick that box. If it is not, tick the bottom one. No, it is not made for kids. There are different rules, YouTube rules, if it is made for kids. There are also a few show more options, for instance, like paid promotions. If you want to have tags or subtitles, whatever the case might be, click on show more and you can have options there as well. So you don't have to wait for it to finish. You can continue forward and backwards. So if we say next, then you can see the next option. You will see there's a timeline there as well. So if we said at the add more, if we wanted subtitles, that one will be highlighted. End screen will be when, I'm sure all of you, if you've ever watched a YouTube video, at the end, YouTube is suggesting one or two other videos, and you can then have an end screen. And the cards is the little eye that might pop up in the top right-hand corner if you have seen that. So that is where you will add it. And that way you can also link if you are talking about a specific video at that point. For instance, with a card, you can link that video. But that is not the purpose of this quick demo. So we say next again, and here you will see it has done some checks, especially copyright checks. So if, for instance, there was a copyright issue, it will tell you that there were copyright claims that were found in your videos. If you used music or videos, stock videos or anything from something that might contain copyright, that you might be in violation, definitely YouTube will tell you. Next, we have the visibility. So here you will see the three options again. So we're quickly going to run through those. So private option is absolutely private. If you don't have the link and if your email address was not inserted here, you will not be able to see it. So even if I have given it to Ina and I have shared it with her email address, and Ina forward that link to somebody else, the other person will not be able to see it. So things that need to be kept private, maybe if you have videoed your children and you don't want it all over the internet, you can have it as private. Your unlisted videos is visible to anybody with the video link. So if I share the link with Ina and she forwarded to somebody else, that other person will also be able to watch this video, regardless if they have permission or not. However, it will not appear in the playlist. So if somebody specifically search for that title, it will pop up in the search results. But if you just go to the YouTube channel, the library or the playlist, it will not be visible there. And then public, that's self-explanatory. That is open to everybody. You search it, it will be in your playlist. It is discoverable for anybody. If you want your video to go live at a certain time, then you just click on a schedule and a few options will pop up when you want it to go live and the time that you want it to go live. Right. And then, okay, so let's go back a few. So we can go back. We want to see if there are different pictures. That is better than that one. So our very first one. So the three options they gave us is this content, planning, or that one. So if we are not happy with any of these, then we can go to upload thumbnail. And wherever we have uploaded a thumbnail, we need to have created that beforehand. We can upload that, merely clicking it on it, and it will upload that. Once we're happy with all this, we have set where we want it. Let's do unlisted. Are we happy with the image or the thumbnail? We can click save. And we can, if you want me to copy it, you can share it to WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, all sorts of social media directly from here. You need to copy the video link, and or you can just close it and it would have uploaded here. So that is the one. It just selected the same image. On here, this is all your content. You will see how it was with the visibility. So from here, you can also change the visibility. So you can make it private, whatever you want to do. You can also see the restrictions. So for instance, this one, it shows there is a copyright claim, but you can also see more details of why it shows that there is a copyright claim. Your upload date, how many views there are. If there are any comments, you can also go directly to the comments and reply to that. And if there are thumbs up or thumbs down, likes or dislikes, will all show here. So it is as easy as that, uploading a video. There are a few other features that you can do once you have uploaded it. You can grab the HTML to embed it, but we can all share that in the next video for you. So that was my story. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope that we will see all the wonderful videos that you're going to create. Share your YouTube links with us. Share your links on your website with us. And we would like to thank you for joining us today. If you think you need a more in-depth workshop, we probably will consider next year doing more in-depth workshops on all these topics and maybe do a hands-on workshop instead of an overview or a demo. Then we can do that. Let us know. Fill in the feedback form. Ina has shared the link with you, and we would like to see you at that workshop. Thank you for joining us today, and keep well. Bye.